Hi gaming guys, and welcome to another speed build for Forza Horizon 3, and this particular build is for a very popular JDM car, the Honda NSX. Now incidentally, and quite importantly, this is the older of the two NSXs, because in particular this car has some pretty radical visual changes that can be made, such as the Rocket Bunny body kit, which the newer model, the NSX-R, can't. Now that car's still great. I've done a top speed tune for it, on the storefront that is. This one though is the more popular, for obvious reasons. It's got the better visuals. Now as far as the tune setup, the NSX, even with the engine swap, isn't quite as powerful as some other top tier exotics on the game, but it's such a great performance car, pretty much with any amount of power, that not surprisingly, it's still really quick. Among the best in the game if you factor in handling as well as speed. Now as far as the engine conversion, I would recommend the V8 because you get the best power, put simply. As far as drivetrain, some people will prefer rear-wheel drive of course, but I would recommend all-wheel drive for that mix of all-wheel drive launch and top speed control. As far as the twin turbo, obviously you want to fit that in particular. The body kit is completely optional of course, so it depends, it's down to personal preference. And that's really what these YouTube tutorials benefit most people with. It allows you to choose what parts you do and don't want. Whereas if you like the way this looks and just want it on your car as is, the paint notwithstanding of course, you can find the tune, as with all of my tunes, on my storefront. So if you like the way it looks, just use the keywords in this video's description to find this build. However, if you want to do it yourself, then obviously fit everything that improves the car, lower the weight, high the power, or raise the power, I should say. And as far as the tuning side of things, as you can see, it's got good numbers. Just under, well, 4.1-ish to 100, 2.1 to 60, and 264 miles per hour. It can easily do more with draft as well. And that's pretty impressive performance, given that it's got roughly 500 or so horsepower less than some of the other converted vehicles. Now as far as the gearbox, I would recommend that final drive of 2.5 as you can see, then individual gears of 2.9, 2, 1.5, 1.17, 0.95 and 0.78. Then for the alignment, not surprisingly to anyone who's been on my tunes before, I've left it very open to personal interpretation, really. I've got neutral camber, neutral toe, 3 degrees of caster on this particular model to keep the handling looser at lower speeds, but again you can change that if you want to. As far as anti-roll, we've got those on 25 front and rear, springs on 145 and 201. I've opted for the lowest ride height front and rear. Dampers on 12 and 17, then 6 and 8. Aero doesn't apply, kind of ironically given the rear wing. And as far as the diff, we've got the highest acceleration settings and the lowest on deceleration, and for this car a little bit more inclined to the front as far as the split, 73%, which isn't as far to the back as we'd usually have it. And the main reason for that is because if you change it up 1% more than that, you immediately lose a little bit of launch, and who wants that? Now if you want to change it for the sake of handling for instance, feel free to do so. But the way I've got it set up is to have a mix of both. Great launch and also the benefits of that all-wheel drive. So if you do decide to use this build either from the storefront or from this video, or some variation of it, which I would always encourage, then obviously I hope you find it fun and competitive. And of course if you are new to the channel and you'd like to see tunes which I've already done, you can check out the playlist at the end of this video, or if you want to see tunes which haven't even come out yet as soon as they're released, then you can subscribe down below. But for now, as always, thanks for watching.